Hello, this is Dr. Seeley, and I'm here in Antwerp with my international business class for study abroad. And I'm going to go over study guide questions 5 through 9. This is from chapter B in the textbook. By the way, they named it B because the authors kind of thought not many people would want to use it. But in Utah, we have a lot of small businesses. You may well find that you're working for a small company and you have to take charge of export. So that's why I've included this chapter. But anyway, let's start in with question 5. Explain factoring. So factoring, the definition, is discounting without recourse to an account receivable. This is when a seller sells his account payable to a bank for cash. So what this means is if you're a situation like, for example, in Utah, there's a company that makes airbags. And let's say that you sell a bunch, $10 million worth of airbags to Volkswagen. Volkswagen's a well-known company. You can take that, and they're going to pay you in 90 days. You can take that account receivable from Volkswagen to the bank and say, we're going to get $10 million in 90 days and we'll sign this over to you. Can you give us cash now? We need a little money to make payroll or something like that. That is factoring. And so they might give you $9.5 million or something like that cash, and then Volkswagen pays the bank. So that is factoring. Okay, free trade zone. So a free trade zone is an area, this is number 6, designated by the government as outside its customs territory. So you have free trade zone in most ports. You have them here in Antwerp and nearby in Rotterdam. We have them in U.S. coasts at all ports. And the U.S. we call them foreign free trade zones. And in fact, we even have one in Utah north of the airport. So what this is you can bring something in without paying duty, customs duty, whatever that might be. And it can't leave the free trade zone without paying duty if it goes into the country. And if it leaves the country again, you never pay duty. So for example, let's say in Antwerp, let's say you make industrial lasers. And so you have a warehouse here in Antwerp where you want to ship 24 of these things so that you can take care of Europe with sales they might have. They would come in and sit in the free trade zone without paying any European Union duties. And then if you get an order for Belgium, let's say a factory in Belgium, and you ship it there, then you would pay import duty on that particular laser. But if you get another order for the UK, which is no longer in the European Union, then you would ship it out of Antwerp without ever paying duties for the European Union, and you would ship it into England and then pay duties. The same if you ship something to Switzerland, which is outside the EU, or Russia for that matter, or Norway's also outside. And then it can sit there without any duties being paid until it moves into that given country. And if it moves out of the country, you never have to worry about it. That's the beauty of a free trade zone. Okay, foreign freight forwarders, what do they do? Question number 7. They do a number of things. They act as agents for an exporter, meaning they will move your stuff for you, your freight, whatever it might be, and work out all the arrangements. They will prepare documents for you. So whatever import or export documents need to be taken care of, they can help with shipping insurance and all of that. They can book space on carriers and generally manage your exports. So if you're not doing exports every day, it's best to contract a freight forwarder to manage all this for you. And up in Salt Lake, there's a number of freight forwarders. The U.S. Commercial Services has a luncheon, and they call it Utah Export Council. And the freight forwarders all go there with a stack of cards, ready to hand out cards to anybody that wants to do it. So if you ever find yourself in a situation where, oh my goodness, I need to export now, go look up a freight forwarder. And if you're going to do it from time to time, go up to Salt Lake, go to the District Export Council luncheon and meet some freight forwarders and talk to them about what you need to do. Okay, number 8, lists the 3 purposes of a bill of lading. What is a bill of lading? So when you are exporting something, the bill of lading is a contract with the shipping company. So it says, okay, we will ship this for so much money and the details of the shipping. It's also a receipt from the carrier that is often used for importing. This is what's in this box or this shipping container or what have you. And it's a certificate of ownership. So what happens with a bill of lading is that when it's received, say your buyer here in Antwerp comes might take a look at the products that you have or whatever before signing the bill of lading. And once the bill of lading is signed by your importer, they now own it. And so they now have responsibility for whatever may happen from there. Insurance purposes, if it hasn't gone through customs yet, they'll have to pay that. They're the owners. So that signature transfers ownership from the exporter to the importer. And often this is used for letters of credit and other things as evidence of transfer of ownership. Okay, define a custom house broker and bonded warehouse. Okay, so custom house broker is an independent business that handles import shipments for compensation. So if you are importing stuff that comes in from Long Beach and you're based in Utah and you've got a shipment coming, what do? Send somebody down there to wait for the ship to come in? And what if it's late? What do? You got to wait there, and then when the ship comes in, you go and find your stuff and have it shipped into Utah. Well, a custom house broker has an office at that port or any port that you're looking at, and they just do this stuff all day long. They're authorized by you to handle the importation, sign off for you, pay any import duties, and then get it on a truck and send it to your warehouse. So that is what a custom house broker does. Now, a bonded warehouse is an area authorized by custom authorities for storage of goods on which payment or duties is deferred. So it's like a free trade zone, but it's just for storage. Now, in free trade zones, you can also sort things. You can, if you buy a box of Swiss Army knives, you can package them into the nice little boxes that will be sold at stores and such. So that can happen in a free trade zone. Bonded warehouse is just the storage of the boxes. It's like a free trade zone in that there's no customs duty paid upon bringing them in, but when they come out, if they go into the country, then you pay customs duties. If they go to another country, you never worry about that. So often if there's some confusion or something, then stuff can go into a bonded warehouse. Maybe you ship too many products to Antwerp here, and you shipped a double shipment by mistake, and you're not sure if you're going to find another buyer in Europe or ship them back to the US. You would find a bonded warehouse here in Antwerp and just put them in the bonded warehouse until you figure out what happened. And then if you say, oh yeah, we shipped too many, we'll ship them back to the US. Or you can leave them there and find another buyer. That's the beauty of a bonded warehouse, and every major port in the world has them. Okay, that concludes the study guide questions.